All right, and welcome to 80 West. This is episode 3, and today we are very excited to introduce our guest, Casey Fitzpatrick. Hey, what's going on, Casey?
What's up, Ryan? How you doing?
I'm doing all right tonight. Nice to have you here.
Me too. Stoked.
You guys, our listeners, might know you from the band, the Lucky Eejits. Coming up on 10 years as a band.
Yeah.
That's pretty exciting.
That is. It's crazy. It's a little scary, too, but it's all right.
Yeah, I could imagine. So it's good to have another guest in here that's from kind of the far East Bay or even East County, as I always correct everyone when they go, hey, we're from the East Bay, and you're sitting in Antioch. It's like, you're from East County, man. You're not from the East
You're
Bay at
the
this point.
East.
Yeah, you're a little bit farther than that.
Yeah.
So you've grown up out here. You said you were you lived in Concord and went to high school. Where was that at?
I went to De La Salle in Concord. So, yeah, I got put in the Catholic school like a good boy.
And that's from the Irish upbringing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Oh, yeah. I didn't do too well there, but, you know.
And you went all 4 years to De La Salle?
Yeah, I did.
It had nothing to do with the football program, did you?
No, goddamn, no. No way.
I think they have a movie out now with that school, right?
Yeah,
Miracle
they exactly, yeah. And our drummer was actually this is another fact. He was the son of the coach. I won't say his name, maybe just in case, but
a former drummer.
Yeah. So Laddie,
son of a coach.
yeah,
De La Salle, wow.
Yeah.
And that whole streak was going on when you were in high school. Wow.
Yeah.
So you go to the games?
Not really. No. I wasn't really. Yeah.
Not even homecoming. Huh?
If I was trying to figure out how to sneak a beer in there or something. So
yeah, you were more likely to get kicked out.
Yeah, I was there because I had to be, not because I wanted to.
Right on. So 4 years at De La Salle. What was Catholic school like for you?
A lot of boundaries, a lot of rules. I think it definitely kind of solidified the whole, punk rock feel that I really wanted, and I learned a lot about myself. There was parts that was like, I got to meet a lot of cool dudes and got to do some cool things, but it definitely, I don't know if it was for me, but here I am.
Is that an all-male high school?
Yes, with a female school right across the street.
Okay, cool. So your class was just you and the guys.
Yes, tension was high.
What are the days like there? Are you talking 6 classes a day, every class every day?
Yeah, pretty much. It was just like any other high school, I would imagine. But yeah, most of the classes were just with other guys, but you did have certain periods where they would have co-ed and they would mix the two, and so everybody always used to love that.
And you're wearing a uniform at school?
That place was not too bad. It was just you had to wear a collared shirt and that was it.
Okay, so you had a little freedom there.
Yeah.
So as you're there and you're talking junior, senior year is when you start the band, the Lucky Eejits.
Yes.
And the first formation of that, what are we talking? You got a full band?
Yes. Well, kind of. I started off with my buddy Poppy, who was the original bass player, and then my brother Jerry, and we just did some acoustic, just messing around in my room, and then wanted to make something else of it, looked for a drummer and whatnot, and then eventually we found all the other guys, and then my brother ended up not doing it because he moved away and did things. And
now in high school, are you playing shows?
Yes, kind of, but more like
garages.
Yeah, a lot of Gilman, a lot of that.
You played Gilman while you were in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of people would dream of doing that.
Yeah. No, I don't know how we did it, but we found a way.
Yeah, really cool. So, and that was as an acoustic act.
No, we
or
did
was
it
that with the drummer.
We developed, with the drummer and did it. Full electric. Yeah.
So we're going back to date you. What year did you graduate in?
I graduated in 2008.
So we're talking 2007, 2008. You're playing Gilman Street as the Lucky Eejits in some formation.
Yeah, more end of 2007, and then more through 2008 when we started being like, oh, let's do this. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Sounds like you got a lot of quite a bit of highway under your belt there if you started that early. Mm-hmm. Well, so go straight into the Lucky Eejits. Now, when does recording start? I know there was an early record that came out, put it in the trunk. I mean, is that after that?
Yeah, we did a couple things prior with the full original, because we were actually more of a Celtic punk band originally. So we had like accordion, tin whistle. Like I was jumping from mandolin and guitar, and so we were trying to kind of do that whole thing to fit the name. And so we rolled with that. We did some,
Where does the name The Lucky Eejits come from?
So that comes from a BBC show called Father Ted, and it's about 3 Irish priests that were banished to some island off the coast of Ireland. And long story short, one of the priests is permanently drunk the entire time in the show, and he's like delirious. And he would scream, Eejits, Eejits, feckin' Eejits. And,
it's the drunken priest.
Yeah, the drunken priest. And so, all of us came from that Catholic school thing, so we thought it was hilarious, to kind of just like, make fun of it a little bit since we weren't the most religious people ever. And so the name stuck, and we were like, the Lucky Eejits, we're idiots, we're lucky.
Yeah,
cool.
I've heard it before, but the actual meaning of the word Eejit is
a buffoon, slang for idiot. Yeah, it's like, yeah, Eejit. So, yeah.
It's not a bad name to run with,
Yeah, no, it's cool. Yeah. I got called that a lot by my grandfather. It was awesome.
So that was actually a word that was used in the family.
Yeah.
Cool, a lot of cool history with that.
Yeah.
So as you guys get out of high school and you're playing Gilman and around town, you kind of solidify the band that I knew and that I started playing with, which was with Tyler and the bass player Emilio.
Yes.
And that's probably 2009?
Yeah, probably around, end of 2009, I think. It was right around there.
And that's at that point you guys get a rehearsal studio. You guys start getting in there every week, twice a week.
Yep. Yeah, we did 3 days a week.
Wow.
We just wanted to practice as much as we could because a lot of us too. I mean, we were still kind of new to our instruments for the most part. I mean, our drummer was in like marching band, and so he was getting acclimated with punk rock drumming, and Poppy, our bass player, had never actually played an instrument, and I was like, I want you to be in the band. You're my friend. Like, learn this,
It shouldn't be too tough on you.
I showed him how to kind of do it, and he got decent, and he still plays a little bit. So yeah. I mean, what the hell? So it was cool. Yeah, we all learned and did it.
So 2009, 2010, you start rehearsing at Rehearse America, which is in East Oakland.
Yes.
And you also call that place home for a little bit.
Yeah. So, I went through a little rough patch in between where I was living in San Ramon for a short period of time.
This is after high school, moving out there by yourself.
Yeah, so I was 18 and a half, almost 19, I think, maybe right around there. And so, with some issues and whatnot, I secretly was living there without anybody knowing because I didn't want to get kicked out. But I had a job and everything. I was just having to commute all the way back out to San Ramon.
But family did not know where you were at.
Yeah, exactly. Family, friends. I don't think really anybody really knows that because I didn't think it was too big a deal. I was happy there.
Yeah.
I was like,
so you just
making
kind of
music.
ran away, but you were an adult, didn't matter.
Yeah.
And you were having a good time.
Pretty much.
So after that, you end up living inside Rehearse America for about a year.
Yeah.
Which was your practice studio. You guys are doing 3 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of where you get to the Put It in the Trunk record.
Yes, pretty much. So after, everybody got their lives together and whatnot, a lot of the original members had started to kind of drift away with college and life in general, I guess. And so we found Emilio. We were actually playing some open mics just with some friends around. They had one place in Concord and then another place in Danville.
Where was that in Concord?
In Concord with the bowling alley.
Oh, really?
Remember that?
Open mic, right?
Yeah, they were doing it there.
Do you remember who used to host that? I remember Robbie from the Drowsy Holler.
I think so, yeah.
Was that who it was?
Yeah.
I remember he gave me a flyer for that once. I never made it out. But
yeah.
I really always liked his music.
We were really into that. We felt like we could just meet a lot of people, and it was practice, and playing in front of people was the thing we wanted to do. So, but we primarily really did more at Minar in Danville. It seemed more laid back for us. And
that was a weekly open mic?
Yeah, it was every Monday.
And that's where you met Emilio?
Yes.
Okay, and he had experience playing?
Yes. So to make this any more confusing, so another guitar player that was in the band in the Eejits at the time, he actually introduced me to both Emilio and Tyler. So Tyler joined first because our other drummer moved on for school and whatnot, and he brought Tyler in, and we were jamming like that, and then Poppy, the bass player, he left, and then Emilio had been hanging around at the open mic thing, and we just got drunk one night, and I was like, you want to play some punk rock, man? Because he was doing some sort of just like weird, lame rock stuff that sounded like, I don't even know. It was so lame. I was like, dude, come
But he was
on.
in a band of some sort.
Yeah. It was something. And I was like, you got it. You come play some punk rock, man. And he was like, oh, yeah, I'd be down to do that. And so then, the rest was history.
And that's where it solidified the lineup that I was talking about.
Yeah.
You, Tyler, and Emilio that ended up recording the first couple records and kind of getting out of the rehearsal studio and kind of becoming a name inside the East Bay scene.
Yes.
Well, we're going to go ahead and take our first break. We're going to come back, get into the early days of that formation of the Eejits, playing around East Bay and East County. We're going to talk about your guys' first tour when you guys went up north.
Sweet.
And then we're going to get into the tragedy of Easter morning of 2015 here in just a little bit. We'll be right back with Casey Fitzpatrick.
Boom.
Till the end. Through the crowd, we can see them starting on the road, sitting in the back of the truck, blasting a hardcore. And maybe they can tag along. And maybe together we're all strong. This is our song we wrote, yeah, we send it out to our friends. We can't imagine what we do without them. It's like our brotherhood, strong bond and can't be broken. They keep our heads held high. This is how we thank them, 'cause we know that they are here until the end. These are the people that we care for, keep them close to us. These are the people that we know will fight until the death. And maybe they can tag along. And maybe together we're all strong. Together, we are all strong enough. Together, we are all strong enough. Together, we're all strong enough.
All right, we are back with my guest, Casey Fitzpatrick of the Lucky Eejits, and we're going to dive into a little bit of the early days of the Lucky Eejits, solidifying their lineup with, of course, Tyler and Emilio, and then kind of getting into your guys' touring days. So let's start. I mean, it's like 2009. You said you got your rehearsal studio in Oakland. 2010, 11, we kind of meet from playing places like the Mutiny.
Yep.
I mean, that's early on East County stuff out here.
Yeah, that was the days, man.
What are your memories of the Mutiny? I mean, I feel like I would love to have Chad in here. I just feel like there was such a history there for a moment.
There was some really great shows there. I mean, I thought the energy there was always really neat, especially for those people, way out east, like, a lot of us. Being able to make it out to a show that wasn't, in the depths of Oakland or San Francisco or wherever, you had that crowd of people that could really get there, and it got off the hook. It was great.
Yeah, I feel like the farther out shows, a lot of times, when it was the house parties or it was the far out shows at either the Epidemic or at the Mutiny, you really had a crowd that was hungry for it, because there's nothing else out that way. There's just not a lot of music out there. So I mean, we kind of meet you guys there, and you're playing off the first record, which was the Put It in the Trunk record.
Yep.
And that's recorded where?
That was actually recorded at Expressions. Emilio did that whole thing.
Okay, and he went to school there?
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
he went to school there and graduated, and I believe when you graduate there, you have unlimited studio booking time.
Wow.
So you obviously had to book it like well in advance, but he was able to make it happen. We went in there. We tracked, I think, for around like 10 hours. It was a long day. We did the whole thing.
But it was just a one day.
Yeah.
Okay. And that was how many songs on that record?
That was 8 songs, I believe.
And that still exists? It's up on Bandcamp?
Yeah, it's on Bandcamp. Yeah, we keep it there for the sentimental value.
For the time being?
Yeah, for the time being until it hurts us, I guess. But it's, there's a lot of passion in that record. And
was there a physical release on that?
Yeah, so we did that all ourselves. We haven't made any more CDs on it. We're dabbling on maybe doing something with it, in the future. We'll see what happens. But yeah, it's out there.
I think keeping around those early recordings, a lot of people, they have all the different jokes. I only listen to your guys, early recordings. I only like the first record. But it is kind of true.
Like,
a lot of people like to hear that,
Yeah.
And it is interesting a lot of times to hear, where you started. And
Yeah, you can follow the progression and where all the, everything just happened there.
So 2011, 2012, you guys kind of catch your stride as a band.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's when we started seeing you pop up a lot in the East Bay.
Yeah.
Every venue.
Yeah.
From, the Red Hat, the Mutiny way out here, but
Yep.
Indie Gilman, the Stork Club.
Yep.
A lot of stuff in Oakland. Some of those, early starting out places.
Yeah, Uptown, too.
Uptown, wow, yeah. Uptown, I know of a show we did there with Get Dead.
Yep, yeah. That place was another awesome spot. I mean, it's back now.
It's great to have it back. Yeah, that's what I said. It kind of was a staple for a long time for unknown bands to be able to play a good stage and good sound.
Great sound.
So it is good to
Good
have
job,
the Uptown
Zappo.
back. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
great.
Nothing better than having Jason run sound for you. So you guys start playing all those venues, getting a good word out with the Put It in the Trunk record, and then when do you guys leave town first? I know it's 2012 or 2013. You guys embark on a West Coast tour.
We did, yeah. That was the first one we did between the three of us. I want to say it was in January. We have this really bad thing of wanting to do tours in the dead winter.
That seems like when they pop up, right?
Yeah.
I'm always like, why am I booking Seattle in January?
Yeah, how crazy are we? But yeah, we did 3 days up there as we kind of started finding our sound, and we're like, all right, let's try and rock this and get this out there.
Was that with Heroes or was that before
the
that?
first time was just us.
Okay, so it's just the Eejits in the van.
Yep.
And that was up Seattle, Portland.
Yep, Seattle, Portland, and then I believe we did Yakima, Washington.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was the venue in Yakima?
That, I cannot remember the name. It was just, it was off the hook, dude. I mean, it was an okay turnout, but it was like one of those turnouts where it's small, but everyone's just like, man.
They're just happy somebody's there.
Yeah, and and sometimes those shows are worth it, and you have a good time drinking and hanging out with people.
Yeah, I meet a lot of people out at that.
Absolutely.
And then where do you play in Seattle on that tour?
That was the Kraken.
Okay, so you're in the
Kraken.
venue. Everybody knows the Kraken. All my listeners, are familiar with that.
I think our first show that was there was with Success too.
Okay, cool. Yeah, great guys from out there in Seattle.
It's the first time we met those guys.
Right on. So then the second tour, and that's the one with Heroes at Gunpoint.
Yes.
Which is where we can tie Tim into the story a little bit.
Yeah.
And that band's Tim, Darren,
Sebastian, Andy.
And are they still functioning?
They're not.
A little bit.
They're not playing as Heroes at Gunpoint, unfortunately, anymore. I actually do a little side project with those guys called The Yard.
Okay.
Which is pretty cool. We go out and it's gimmicky, and fun, and we just play songs we all really enjoy and just have a good time.
Heroes at Gunpoint was kind of a band that was there in those Mutiny Red Hat days. There was a great band. I mean, they really were a great band.
Absolutely.
I don't know too much of what they did outside of here, but they were a good band.
Yeah, they were.
So you roll out West Coast Tour number 2 with Heroes at Gunpoint. And I know that there's a famous story in Eugene that deals with Emilio.
Yeah, that was great. Long story short, I'm hanging outside by the van, and I look over and I see Emilio walking out, and he's been drinking, and I'm like,
this is
oh,
just
boy.
on the highway, or is this?
No, this is like,
okay,
so we played at the Tiny Tavern. It was like just a little quiet road right outside the venue, and the van's parked right outside. It's easy.
You guys are
venue.
sitting out of the van having some beers.
Yeah, chilling. The show was just about to start, I think, and Emilio was already drunk, and it was great. So there was some girl like sitting there on the side of the road, and I think she might have been a little tweaked out, but he was being weird, and he went over there and he was just like saying hey like he did and whatever, and all of a sudden I just see her sock him in the face. Straight up sock him right in the face, and I can't hear anything.
You don't know what he said.
I don't know what he said. I don't know what happened. He swore,
and
that
it's a cold clock. I mean, it's a swing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's a Eugene swing.
I think literally all I kind of heard in the distance was, it was hard
but
enough.
this is from 100 feet.
Yeah. This is like a distance. I'm looking over there, and I'm just like, I'm not gonna move. So I'm watching.
You're not getting
him.
involved.
Yeah, I'm not getting involved. No way. I'm not that kind of guy. And I see it happen, and I'm like, oh God, what did he do? Is the first thing I thought. And then I see her yelling at him and stuff, and he's just kind of like being all calm, throw his hands up, like what, kind of thing.
Yeah, the
like,
goofy self he was, right?
Yeah, and then I see Tyler come out, and I'm like, oh shit, like I know what he's gonna do. He's gonna see that, and I see him go over there, and then I see her sock him too, and he's laughing after she socks him.
So she ends up punching both members of the band.
Yeah, and so I was like, I know I'm staying here. I know I'm gonna be right here because this is sketch. I'm not doing this.
Now, did you ever find out why she hit both the guys?
Not really, because I don't believe anybody. So is the thing. So he just said, hey, what's up, and was trying to get her to come into the show or something along those lines. And that he said, oh, I think she was on drugs or something. She just swung at me, and I had no idea. I think she hit him like twice or something. But it was, that was a night to remember. But we love that story. We'll bring that up all the time.
Yeah, that's probably one that's going to live in infamy.
Absolutely.
So
Good
then
times.
you guys, come back. You guys are doing 30 or 40 shows a year at that point. I mean, really, you guys are a band that's playing in the East Bay more than anybody. And you guys are getting gigs with Get Dead and La Plebe and good bands out here.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I mean, what kind of venues? What's your favorite venue to play out here?
I personally really love the Nightlight. I think it's a really, really awesome spot. I've always really enjoyed that. If we're talking about Oakland, for sure. I love the Nightlight. I loved the Uptown. Even since I've been to the Uptown, since it reopened, it was still great.
Yeah.
Really liked it there, too. I always kind of found my home back in Oakland. That place was just the community and the scene, and everybody there was just so much more into it than when you go really far east, which was cool, too, but you just really get that passionate group of, artists amongst you and inspiring.
Sure, rooms full of musicians and people that have been around and seen a lot.
Could give you feedback and could, just like let you know what they thought. So it was awesome.
Yeah, I think all those rooms in Oakland really are great.
Yeah.
And yeah, we've played them all, played a lot of them with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So that brings us into about 2014, 2015.
Yep.
And we can go here. I mean, it's a thing we've got to talk about.
Yeah.
It comes to Easter morning, which is 2015, and it's a gig. I know it was for Moki's birthday.
Yes.
And me and Sean were there. We went out early to catch you guys.
Yeah.
And you guys ended up headlining. And we're
I know,
like,
that was funny.
Shit, we got to stay here all night.
Yeah.
So, of course, for our listeners that don't know the story, Emilio, your guys' longtime bass player, is shot and killed after the gig at the Golden Bull.
Yeah.
And, I don't want to get too deep to it, but, I mean, the feelings of that night, I mean, what did you witness? How did it go down for you? How do you remember it?
Yeah, I mean, boy, that stuff really messes with your head, but that was a tough night, but a great night at the same time. I can't take away from how much fun we did have before that happened. Emilio was partying. We had just locked in that we were going to be going to Europe at that time, and so a lot of good things happening, and obviously it was Moki's birthday, and we know that guy, and we wanted to have a crazy night.
You guys are headlining.
Yeah.
It's a good night.
Yeah.
You got You're the Fist on the bill. Who else?
Yeah, it was You're the Fist. Between Your Teeth, I believe, played that as well. And God, I can't remember.
Sure, it's a bit hazy.
Yeah, I can't remember who opened, but yeah, it was killer. I mean, it was so much fun. But we played, and actually, we went up there shit-faced, drunk, and we just we felt like we played terrible, and we're all like, damn it, like blah 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 blah, and so basically, long story short, is we were loading out our gear, and as Emilio, he was carrying out the bass cab. There was an altercation earlier between two people, and a stray bullet came and got him. Just, I mean, you couldn't put it together. There's really no words for it. It just happened,
Yeah, so this is directly in front of the club, the Golden Bull.
Yeah.
Great club in Oakland.
Absolutely.
And, I mean, had nothing to do with the club by any means.
No.
But we end up losing Emilio. I mean, you're a friend of many years and a close friend of ours.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, out in front of that. I mean, where does that leave the band? And, I mean, how do you feel? I know a lot of the community came together.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was there at his service, and it really was, meaningful to a lot of us to see how many people came out and reacted. And as unfortunate as that event was, I really think you and Tyler both stood really strong throughout it and really set an example as to how to mourn a friend's death.
Yeah, that was, and neither of us had really, I'm not one who has ever dealt with a lot of death of close friends. I've had family members pass away from Alzheimer's and cancer and whatnot, which was very difficult growing up. But something as sudden as this, with someone living and breathing and being one of your closest friends that you spend so much time with, playing music, you're in a band, you're a brotherhood.
You're rehearsing 3 days a week.
Yeah.
You're in the van.
And we're having a blast, and good things are starting to happen, and we're about to record and all this stuff, and someone's living and breathing right there, and then they're not even there. They don't exist. And so it really, Tyler and I talked a lot. We hung out a lot after that, and we pretty much had our phones turned off, and we just had to really figure out where our heads were at, make sure that each other were safe mentally, because we were just so vulnerable at the time. And we really just came down to the idea, we're like, Emilio would be pissed if we didn't play anymore. He would be beyond disappointed and probably yell at us in many ways, So we were just like, this is what we got to do to keep him alive, and there's no reason that, music is the best way to express yourself, in my opinion. And that's my journal, that's my diary, that's everybody's diary in the band, and so that's how we took it.
Yeah, and like I said, I think you handled it really well.
Thank you.
As heavy as it was on all of our hearts, and still is, such a close friend to be lost inside the scene, and someone we've played so many shows with,
right?
And you included. I really think that it did bring the community together. Unfortunately, it's always the tragedies that do.
Right.
And I hope that eventually we can learn from that and come together closer before the tragedies.
Right, yeah.
I think, that the meaning is there with you guys, and to keep it going was a great decision.
Yeah, I think so. I feel good about it.
Yeah, I think so. There's new energy in the band.
Absolutely.
There's a little bit of a new meaning.
Absolutely.
And definitely more of a community and a sense of urgency to get this stuff out.
Right.
So we're going to take another quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk a little bit about your guys' new record.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about what's going on with the Lucky Eejits now, and what's coming up in the future, 10 years as a band. We're going to be right back now with Katie Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
I got something to say.
All right, and I'm back with my guest, Casey,
Hey,
from
hey.
the Lucky Eejits. We're getting into the new formation of the Lucky Eejits, of course, after Emilio's passing. And you guys decide to keep the band going, just kind of in, not only in shock and honor, and just kind of knowing that's the direction that he would have chose for you guys.
Absolutely, yep.
And I think you're dead on with that. And I know that there was a gig that was booked with Richie Ramone.
Yes.
And that was DNA Lounge.
Yes.
Great people, Barry and Tim out there.
Yeah.
So that gig's booked before his passing.
Mm-hmm.
And when was that gig? That was just shortly after? Was that in May?
Yeah,
or?
that was, I think that was like, I want to say it was like towards the beginning of May or like literally on the tail end of April.
Okay, so
right
you guys
around there.
reach out to Tim, who's from Here's at Gunpoint, who we've talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Great guy. I mean, and no name as far as the East County scene
Absolutely,
goes.
yeah.
And he jumps in to fill in.
Yes.
Some big shoes, of course. You know,
Yeah.
Emilio, great musician. And Tim comes in to play the Richie Ramone show. How is that show?
That show was tough. It was tough in leading up to it because we did rehearsals with Tim, and Tim was amazing about the whole thing. Obviously, we got really tight with him on the Heroes and Eejits tour that we did. And we were pretty down at practice, and it was really hard to pick up our instruments and go in there and play and see Emilio's stuff still sitting there. And Tim,
this is still rehearsing at Rehearse America
yes.
in Oakland.
Mm-hmm.
And this
Same
is
place.
2 weeks after, 3 weeks after.
Yeah, not that long after, yeah. And so, and this was just based off of a decision that Tyler and I felt was right and what we wanted to do after talking for hours and, every day of the week figuring it out. And we hit up Tim, and he was, no questions asked. He was like, I'm on it. And we sent him the songs, and he rehearsed and came to practice, and he had just about everything down. And he kept our heads up when we were really slouching, having a hard time. And I mean, not gonna lie, we were playing songs, and I'd stop, have to go cry my eyes out, like come back in and push forward again. And Tim was there, keeping our heads up. And so
knowing Tim, I know that he would be a great pillar in a time like that.
Yeah.
And really just a great guy to help you guys through that morning process.
Yes.
As tough as that must have been.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you get on stage, DNA Lounge. It's the first show without Emilio, and that's you, Tim, and Tyler.
Yes.
And show goes well.
Show was awesome. We had just about everybody that we knew, and
all your loved ones there.
All the loved ones. Some of Emilio's family made it out. It was a killer show, and we had a blast, and I don't regret anything about it. It was so much fun, and the response was fabulous, and it really reminded me of how amazing the music community really is, and there's just strength in numbers, and everybody is so passionate and caring and took care of us. And it wasn't a night to be sad. It was a night to celebrate and be amongst each other and just be, happy. So it was great.
It must have been incredible to feel that
Absolutely,
family feel, from everybody. I know the response was huge.
Amazing, yeah.
So you were saying you guys had the Europe tour booked.
Yes.
Or you had the idea.
Yeah, it was, yes, we're going to do it. That's where it was at.
And it was going to happen.
Yeah, it was going to happen.
So Tim comes in, he fills in, feels good.
Yeah.
And you say, hey, this was another dream that we have to live out.
Yes.
And that's getting outside of the U.S., traveling abroad. And so the tour in Europe starts to be planned.
Yes, exactly. So, and that was a long process, but it was great. Our buddies in City Records were the ones who put that together for us.
And where are they based out of?
They are out of Dülmen, Germany.
Okay.
So, if I'm wrong, I'm sorry, guys. But no, that's they're rad dudes. Schnabel and Stefan were the two guys that really made it happen for us. And we had known Schnabel a little bit because he came and he was playing with Get Dead on a few of their tours. So we got to hang out with him because we played a couple shows on their takeoff shows and whatnot. So it was pretty cool. Like, he's a rad guy. They really took care of us. They treat us like family.
And that was, how many days were you there?
In Europe?
Yeah.
We were there 4 weeks to a T. So we came, we left.
I was going to say, what was it, 10 days? No.
Yeah, we left on, that was a true test of endurance. But yeah, we left at the beginning of October and came back like the 2nd of like November or something.
So that's
like that.
playing 20, 25 shows?
Yeah, I think so. Right around there. Yeah, it was, we had some off nights here and there and whatnot, but Yeah, it was right around there. It was tough. I was drinking tea every day. And,
Keeping the voice alive.
tea in the morning, beer in the evening.
So when you rolled out there to Europe, was the For Life record out at that point?
Yes.
Okay, so you
So
guys
we had that on
that.
vinyl and everything. Yeah,
Now
we
the
had.
For Life record was written mostly with Emilio in the band.
Yeah, so that was just minus April 5th. That was all with Emilio.
Of course, yeah, with April 5th, the tribute to Emilio,
Yes.
which you guys still play.
Exactly.
So that comes out. You were saying Pirates Press helped with the pressing on that.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So we hit them.
How was it
up.
working with them?
They were fabulous. Really, really great dudes. They were, I mean, unfortunately in a way, but fortunately aware of the situation with Emilio, and they were very, very responsive. They were very caring and sympathetic, and really took care of us in that process and made sure that everything came out just right with the artwork and everything. And the process was really easy because of how easy it was to work with them. So.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things. Pirates Press, check those guys out.
Absolutely.
I feel that they can handle any job, so hit those guys
Yes,
up for
they
your
can.
guys vinyl
Yeah.
printing out here. So Europe goes great.
Yes.
It's just you three. Anyone else from out here go with you?
Yeah, we brought our buddy Kyle, who was actually Emilio's roommate, and I made him shake on it one night when he was really drunk, and I said, "Hey, we need a merch guy, and we need someone to help us out there because it's a little tough for three guys to do." And so he was like, "Okay, I'm in." I made him shake on it, and he showed up, and
He had a good time.
Yeah, we found him at the airport, and he was ready to go. So yeah, he's awesome.
So a month in
Kyle.
Europe on the shout out to Kyle for
Shout out to
rolling
Kyle.
with these guys.
Thanks,
I know how
man.
wild these guys can be sometimes,
Yeah.
especially Casey and Tyler.
Yeah,
Of course.
we'll see.
So you guys do a month in Europe.
Yes.
I mean, which is just a great thing. I
Yes.
mean, it really was a step outside of what most bands do in their career.
Mm-hmm.
So it's great to see you guys doing that. And the For Life record, really good, great production throughout it. That was recorded.
For Life that was recorded in end of May and June, I believe, at New Tone Studios.
And that was with Scott Goodrich.
That was with Scott, yeah.
Okay, our friend Scott.
Yeah,
so
Scott.
Listeners, check him out. He can definitely produce a good record for you guys there at New Tone in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And then, so after you getting back, you guys start working on Do It Again.
Yeah, pretty
which
much.
is the new record. That's also recorded at New Tone.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
that's done out here in Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Shout out to New Tone.
New Tone
Now
rules.
that was ruled, that was released by Felony Records.
Mm-hmm.
And that came out end of last year, end of
That was
2016?
Yeah, that was it came out September 8th, 2016. So it was almost a month exactly till we went to Europe. So we wanted to plan it out so it came out like we were touring right on Do It Again, pretty much.
Wow, so you had the Do It Again CDs
Yes.
on that.
We had it
tour
ready to
also.
go. Yeah.
Wow, that is awesome. Really good record, Do It Again.
Thank you.
10 songs.
Yes.
Short record.
Yes.
You know, great production. You know, commend Scott on that.
Yeah.
Not Cool Enough.
Yep.
I really love that song.
Yeah.
Listening to that earlier today.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
And then PTS Me.
Yeah.
Now, the meaning behind that.
Yeah, that is so first of all, the meaning of Do It Again kind of has it kind of has 2 points to it. There was Do It Again as in the next chapter of the Lucky Eejits in our mind, as in we're going to do this again and keep going. So sort of post tragedy, and then Do It Again also came from how many times Scott said that to us in the studio as trying to get our parts right. So yeah, it got two meanings. But yeah, that record means a lot to us. We really shot for first debut, full length, 10 songs, short and sweet, just right in the pocket as best we can, nothing too much or too little.
And that was the first full-length record by the Lucky Eejits.
That is, yeah.
So almost 9 years into the band.
Yeah, finally we decided to do it.
You finally get it out. 10 songs.
Decided to grow up and
Great,
start treating it like a business.
Check that record out. Do It Again. Totally great record. That we're still awaiting vinyl coming soon. Mm-hmm. Hopefully in the next few months.
Yeah, we are hoping so. We are doing some planning for that.
A lot of production plants having trouble keeping up with the demand of vinyl.
Yeah,
which wasn't always that big of a problem.
I know, right?
Now with I know a lot of the plants have been expanding their reach, and it just seems that there's such a demand for vinyl right now.
It is crazy
that it's taken time. A lot of bands are releasing their CD, and a year later,
absolutely
coming with vinyl. I know.
Yeah.
that's just kind of where that lands.
It really is.
But yeah, I really do love that record. I think you guys
Thank
did
you.
great with it. That was you, Tim, and Tyler on that record.
Yes.
Now, moving past that, you guys are at 10 years as a band.
Yes.
We played with you guys last weekend.
Yes.
There is now a fourth guy on stage. Is
Yeah.
that a member?
I know, right? People are marching on the streets about it.
Yeah, I see a fourth guitar or a fourth member, a second guitar player. I think you guys sounded great with the. And his name?
Nick. That's Nick Papas. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, he's
any relation to Poppy, the original bass player?
No, I wish. Oh my gosh, man, wouldn't that be cool? It was a little weird, but yeah, no.
So that's Nick. Like I said, you guys sounded great.
Thank
Plans
you.
are to record with him with the next record.
I think so. We're still feeling it out. We're really Nick's a really close friend of ours. We've known him for a long time. Especially, I hang out a lot in Livermore. And he's
Is
always
Palomino
out there.
still open?
Yeah, baby.
I've never been there yet.
It's all right. I mean,
do they still have shows?
I don't know how often they really do it anymore. I think it's one of those things you got to hit them up and be like, hey, we want to do a show, and they're like, cool.
Yeah,
so, and
not
then
as often.
we've had some really good ones there though.
So, but you and Nick are longtime friends.
Yeah, we've known each other for quite a while, and he's known Tim a little bit longer too, I believe. But so he came out and jammed with us because we were always been like, do we want to do another guitarist? And so we're like, all right, let's just try it. We're doing some shows and we're doing some stuff. We're feeling it out, and so we'll see what happens.
Right on, yeah. Like I said, I think it sounded
Response
really
is
great.
good. So good job, Nick.
Right on, Nick. And you guys are getting into the next record.
Yeah.
Is there a direction for it yet? Is there a name? Is there songs? Is there anything?
There is. So we have started writing. I think we're about 5 songs in. They're still fairly rough, but we've really been putting the focus on obviously being better than the last one as much as we can, but keeping the same vibe. Not really too many thoughts in terms of where we want to go quite yet. Still pretty early, but we're really just letting things kind of flow right now. The plan is to write at least like 20 to maybe even like 30 songs. We'll see how it goes. Demo them all, which we've already started doing, and then start getting production work on them. Just get all the like nitty gritty stuff out of the way, really, just so we have some good stuff. But we're hoping what we're gonna do is we're going back up north to Portland in beginning of March, and we're gonna do another Bridge City Sessions up there.
Awesome,
and
yeah,
the plan
great
is
guys,
to premiere
Bridge
it.
City.
Heck yeah, I love those guys. They rule. We used to say Bridge Shitty Sessions because we couldn't say it right. So they'd say like, oh, you got to say Bridge City Sessions, and we go, oh yeah, you're watching Bridge Shitty Sessions. Damn it. But no, it was great.
You guys have performed on them before.
Yes, yeah, we did. We were the I think we're the second band. So Western Settings was first, and then we were the next band.
Wow,
Crazy.
Yeah, wow, great
Really
bands.
fun.
You and
They
Western
do
Settings.
it right.
Now
yeah.
you were saying when you were there, you were telling me last week that you were in pretty bad shape.
Yeah,
Your voice was
oh my god
toast, huh?
Yeah, it was really bad. I mean, like it was so much fun, but Tim and I caught like the nastiest cold like the day before, and that day we were in the studio was like the worst.
And that's like an all-day session.
Yeah, that was pretty much.
Yeah,
pretty much. We were there most of the day.
How many songs came out with Bridge City?
We did 4. Yeah, I think 4 songs.
And those are all available up on YouTube.
Yes,
If
absolutely.
anybody wants to see that, check out Bridge City Sessions.
Yeah,
Great guys.
really awesome dudes.
So
Love
we
them.
have another record coming, the second full length by the Lucky Eejits.
Yeah, we'll see.
We're hoping to see that maybe in 2017.
We'll see. I don't really know. I mean, who knows? We're just gonna see what happens.
Yeah,
I can't tell you too much. I don't know.
I mean, I would definitely say that you've been through quite a bit as a band
Yeah.
and handled it very well throughout your
Thank you.
guys' career as the Lucky Eejits. Coming up, you've got a new record. You're coming up on 10 years as the Eejits.
Yeah.
Did you
crazy.
see that day coming?
I did. I literally just learned this probably like last week or something. It was pretty new. And I was like, damn it, really? 10 years? Oh my God.
Any plans as a 10-year anniversary, a T-shirt, a greatest hits album?
Yeah.
I mean, what could possibly be?
I was pushing for the greatest hits, but the other guys say no. So we'll see.
You could bring back some stuff from those old
Yeah,
records, maybe
right.
put them all on one.
We'll go play the Concord Pavilion.
There you go. Yeah, all the way back where it all started,
exactly.
right?
We'll figure it out.
Well, I want to thank you for coming out here today, Casey.
Thank you, man.
It
It's an
was
honor.
a great pleasure to hear your guys' story.
Yes.
You know, I know a lot of people have heard the Lucky Eejits and love the Lucky Eejits all throughout the East Bay. I hope more of you guys check them out now. Is there any advice you have to up and coming? I mean, you've been at it 10 years now. I think you should have at least a few words of the wise, so. Right?
Hey, my best bit of advice would be just keep writing and stay creative and don't let anything stop you. That's really it. Simple.
Yeah, I agree. Just keep busy, man.
Yeah, just keep busy. Keep going.
Right on. Well, we can't wait to see what you guys next. Check these guys out online. Of course, you can listen to the new album, Do It Again, at Bandcamp. And also available on iTunes. Coming soon.
Yes.
To vinyl. You can see these guys' Bridge City Sessions. They said that's on YouTube. They got a lot of music videos up. It's the Lucky Eejits. We want to thank Casey one more time.
Thank you.
Right on, man.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. This is 80 West signing off, episode 3.
Boom.
Kid until I laid my eyes on you. I imagined how you kissed. You started